Oh. Well there, good sir. You might want to take it easy. It says here in my files that you've been in a coma now for 25 years.
What's the dollar price per Bitcoin?
Dollars? We don't use dollars. Although 1 Bitcoin will buy you a Lambo. Oh dear, it's happened again. Can you stop smiling, please? It's wildly inappropriate. Yes, I realize I should have chosen an older actor for that, because he would have had to have bought Bitcoin as a baby. But let's just say he did. And liked Lambos. So, if we have a look at the market, we can see now, if we were to round Bitcoin to the nearest 1,000, we would be rounding it to 5K. We're on the train there. And I think a lot of other people know it as well. And I think that's having an effect in some of these coins. Ethereum is on the way up, on the way to 400. Bitcoin Cash in the green slightly today, which is interesting. That is being supported by miners. Some of the reasons why, even though it's less profitable to mine than Bitcoin at the moment, is only speculative, but we can look into some of those reasons. Litecoin is still strong above 60. Now Neo is tanking quite a bit. You might ask why. Fundamentals haven't changed. Well, it's to do with Chinese regulation law. News out of China is anything but bullish for the moment. Posts such as this: Chinese regulators consider suspending all ICOs. All of them. That's pretty bad. How long they would do it for, or if they do it at all, is anyone's guess at the moment. But supporters of Neo are quick to point out that this affects Ethereum just as much. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Here are my thoughts on it. If Neo's going to stay at the same price now for a while, or if people are wondering if it is, aren't they going to be attracted to Bitcoin? Are they going to be wanting to sell their Neo to get onto the Bitcoin train, which is moving quite quickly? 5K just seems like a matter of when, not if now. Whether or not you and I agree with that is besides the point. Is that what other people are doing right now? Is that what they're going to continue to do? Don't know, but that's some of my thoughts. But if you support the project and you believe in it, then maybe you don't follow the crowd and you stay and hold, and all credit to you. But let's get back to the market. Bitcoin Cash is still somewhat falling. It did have some recovery, but the overall general trend for the past week has been quite a downer, almost half the price from its all-time high. Now, Bitcoin Cash still seems to have quite a bit of miner support, even though it's less profitable. Why are they doing this? There's a few speculative reasons. We can say potentially some of the miners believe in it ideologically. They want bigger blocks. They don't agree with Segwit. They are in it for the long haul. Or there's a bit of that, and that they're hoping it will be profitable in the future and that it will be worth their time to continue to mine it. Or potentially they are being subsidized to continue diverting their hash power towards it by some other people who are looking to maintain the efficacy of the network. Whether or not it's any of those or a combination of all three, we can only speculate at this point. But why, you might ask? Have we not seen better improvements from Segwit onto the Bitcoin network? Well, the answer is very little of us are actually using it yet. So if you have a look at this website, we can see, we showed this earlier, the amount of transactions that are actually happening on the Segwit compression method is very, very little. This one shows quite well what's happening. The blue line represents Segwit. So why are so little of us actually benefiting from Segwit? Well, the answer is it's up to the Bitcoin users and companies to actually incorporate and use the tech. Now, users usually depend on a software wallet, so they need the businesses to have their wallet support Segwit. Now, a quote from the Chief Technical Officer of Blockstream, Greg Maxwell, states, "Using Segwit before the activation is buried is unsafe, could lead to a loss of funds if miners act maliciously." Not that they ever would. Consumer and business wallet support is trickling in. We've already seen the likes of Trezor and Ledger hardware wallets support the technology. Others might not be far behind. So what else is on the horizon for the Bitcoin network? Well, we've already discussed the Lightning Network and Mast very briefly. However, one thing we've not talked about is Schnorr signatures. Schnorr. So here's a current problem. When someone wants to send multiple transactions, even though they're going to the same place at the same time, they all need their own signature. Schnorr signatures would eliminate the need for that, combine them so they would look like this. Estimates are that it would improve the usage of storage and bandwidth by 25%, or in other words, a huge efficiency gain. It also solves another problem, the problem of spam attacks. Now, if we have a look at this, we can see over the past 6 months, there have been multiple spam attacks on the Bitcoin network, or at least highly suspicious. They stopped after an agreement was made on how to scale Bitcoin. So while this was going on, transactions were very expensive. Whether or not you agree that these people were attackers or if they were heroes trying to help us all out by showing us the problem, that's up to you to decide. But Schnorr signatures would aim to reduce the ability for people to spam attack such as this. Now, like Segwit, Schnorr opens up possibilities of future improvements, one of them being CoinJoin. Now, this one is interesting. This would allow for privacy on the Bitcoin network if desired. Now, this anonymization method for Bitcoin was proposed by Gregory Maxwell, who has stated, when making a CoinJoin payment, there is no way to relate input and output in one Bitcoin transaction, and thus the exact direction of money movement remains unknown to third parties. Whether or not this anonymization could compete with the likes of Monero, who has a huge focus on it, is up for the market to decide, but the tinfoil hatted among us would be quick to say that companies such as Google, Facebook, the IRS, they're not going to allow anonymization on the Bitcoin network. There's too much money involved in being able to know all of our details. Whether or not they do already is, I don't know. Hopefully not. On to the news. The stock exchange in Moscow is planning to trade cryptocurrencies, which is a huge deal, although they do state that they still have yet to draft legislation about how to handle cryptocurrencies. From articles like this, you can see how early days it is for everything in general in this space. People are wondering if it's too late to get into Bitcoin. I personally would say no way. We're still way early into it. Now, we just crossed 18,000 subscribers. Thank you all very, very much. We have one of the best communities on YouTube, in my opinion. I mean, I have a look at some other crypto channels and no, you guys are the best. Really. I love reading through your comments. I thought to celebrate, I'd ask you guys if you wanted to be in an episode, if you wanted to film an intro or an outro. I know I don't have a set one, but maybe you could create one for me. Or if you wanted to pretend to be the Fiat Man, even though I kind of gave away a name for him, then please do. Send me your clips. You can email me. You can put it on #CryptoDaily. I will put the best one in the video. Maybe I won't get any responses to this, but just in case you wanted to, there's the option. Thank you guys for watching. Later on today, I should have a coin review coming out for VibeHub. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one.